Good afternoon, my viewers. I am wearing a very bright t-shirt, and my purpose today is to mess with my green screen as much as possible while doing this. So it's going to be changing colors an awful lot today. It's just a normal yellow green screen, or normal yellow t-shirt, athletic, but it's quite bright. All right. I wonder what it looks like behind the Vegeta. We go black behind this. Heck yeah, I get a design. What? I think this has turned into my favorite t-shirt. Oh, there you are. That's why you said that. Yeah, no, I watched that whole video already. Yeah, I'm ahead today. Um, I get to start the new course, and as of this one, it should be over. Yeah, I'm already done with this one, so I have to start the other one. It used to tell me how far ahead I was, but I'm done with that now. Now I got to go to this one. I have to make it to here today because those are what's due. Yeah, I gotta make it to malicious today. So I got the course introduction, all this nonsense. Now I gotta make it to here today. No, I don't. It's telling me I gotta make it to here. It can suck it. I ain't doing that. I just started this today. I ain't making it all the way there. Suck the fattest part of my toes, bro. I'll do it tomorrow or Monday and just work on getting back ahead of schedule. My goal today, leftovers, is to do school till about 6, and then I'm going to relax. That's not a guarantee that I'm going to go till 6. That's just what I want to do. I may be done with it after the first video because it's a 2-hour video that I'm going to knock out. It takes me about 2 hours to knock out 6 minutes. And that's just the introduction. I hate it when my spoon gets all that stuff on it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go put this back up. I'll be right back. So how's the day treating you today, leftovers? Or would you prefer me to call you Femboy? You've had that for long enough now that I feel that I should probably respect your name change. That's also not white either. That's more like a teal green. What does it do to this thing? Oh, that's funny. That's black. No, that's green you're looking at. Black. That bottom one's green. That shows me my throwaway and my access point. It needs to be painted again. I think I'm gonna go with glow in the dark this time. I liked green, but I think I want glow in the dark. Your body is a weapon. I think we've lost leftovers. He jumped in long enough to say he was ahead, and now he's gone. Oh, show learning objectives. You'll know the types of malicious software, network attacks, client-side attacks, and the essential security terms you'll see in the workplace. Your body is a weapon. That boom boom bow. Chicks be jacking my style. I got too much energy to be sitting still. I want to be creating. I don't want to be in front of this computer. I want to start working with my hands again. I can't stand sitting still. It drives me nuts. Here we go. You spin me right around, baby, right around. Oh, I finally got your comment. Just ahead today. I just got your comment leftovers. All right, guys, let's get started. Course introduction. Five. Course introduction. Module 1. Okay, so let's draw a line right here. Hey, what's up, man? Sorry I didn't see you in here. I was responding back to somebody. I've only got two monitors, that's for right now. How you doing, brother? Glad to see you made it in. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. I'm glad to see you. What's the people's favorite game right now? Is my mic working? Yeah. Sometimes I mute my mic and I forget to unmute it. So what's the you said you've been into gaming for a while and you're always curious about people's favorites. Uh what favorite game are you playing right now? I can tell you what I've been playing, but I'm more curious about what you play before I share my Steam library. And can I call you Saiyan? I know it's Sanji, but every time I see it, I see Saiyan because my vision's really bad. Sanji. Oh, Saiyan? Okay, I can do that. All right, Saiyan. Here's my library. I haven't really got a chance to dive into the Fallouts just yet because I like to play with people, and a lot of them are not multiplayer. I've got Apex. I've played it one time. It's not really my cup of tea. I don't really know how to play it. I'd need some help. This was kind of fun, but not something I'd play repeatedly. Now, Control was a blast if I get more time. I do have Instagram. Um, I think it's the same as my username, TheBig01. Uh, Control I play. It was fun, but it's very detailed, and it's kind of like a good old fashioned figure out what's going on, detect, fight monsters. It's just a good old fashioned game. One of my friends gifted to me. Um, he gifted it to me to test my system, but I ended up liking the game. Destiny 2 I play repeatedly. As you can tell by the 776 hours, I've been playing it on and off for quite some time. It's the main reason why I upgraded the computer to what it is now, so it can handle everything at maximum graphics. I already told you about Fallout. Halo is still here in hopes that it'll become a better game. As you can tell, I've played 9.9 hours of this game, and it's nothing like the Halo I'm used to. My gamer tag on my forearm came from playing the original Halo. All right, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll follow you back. Ironside, I played for just a second. It was kind of fun. Uh, Lost Ark, I also played for just a second. It was also kind of fun. Whenever I get better with yeah, I don't care to follow you back. You trying to raise your followers, man? Oh, you're a girl. I'm sorry. I've been calling you a dude this whole time. Oh, by which games? The ones you play? By the way, I have an amazing idea for your Twitch channel. Okay, shoot. Oh, I didn't walk through showing y'all my game. So this is my whole. Sure. Is it free? Oh, heavens no. I don't pay for art. Art's free, man. With that being said, let's get back to school. Before we go on to the next course, I want to say a big congratulations that you made it all the way to the final course of this program. It's been quite a journey. Who?
Before we get
Bro, I don't remember you.
going on the next course, I want to say a big congratulations. You've made it all the way to the final course of this program. It's been quite a journey, but look at the progress you've made. You've learned all the fundamentals of IT. We're now at the last course, the one that will round out your foundational knowledge. I'm talking about security. Without it, all of the processes you've learned so far can fail. Before we dive in, I'd like to reintroduce myself.
I've only played it for a few seconds, a few minutes actually. But yeah, no, Monster Hunter was wild. It was a gift to me from one of my friends. Oh, 113 minutes. I got almost 2 hours. It took me that long to get to the point where I could do a mission. I still don't think I figured out what weapon I want to use. I tried the big sword to begin with. I liked it, but it was really slow. Then I tried the daggers. They were really quick, but I was kind of like flip-flopping everywhere. I think I'm gonna go with a crossbow or a gun next, like at Gunlance. The battle flute? Okay. That may be the game I play today, guys. I'm only gonna do school for just a few hours. I'm gonna knock out a few things and then I'm done today. I'm taking the rest of the day off. So I'll be streaming some games. I may decide to do Monster Hunter instead. It looks like a fun game.
We met way back when in the first course when we talked about the history of the internet and the Internet of Things. My name is Gian Spacuzza, and I'm a program manager in Android security. I help protect Android's 2 billion plus devices by managing and driving new security features for each Android dessert release, or versions of Android. As early as I can remember, I've loved technology. I've worked in IT since I was 16 years old, and I'd fill my time reading books about new tech and building servers from old computer parts down in my parents' basement. I was never a very good test taker, and my grades definitely reflected that. But I didn't let it stop me from pursuing my career. I worked as the one-person IT crew for 3 nonprofits while I was getting my education. It was really stressful being responsible for everything, from configuring and administrating databases to showing new employees how to access email and internal tools. Now, looking back, this experience was invaluable, and of course, security was an essential part of my IT work. Now, I work directly with hardware manufacturers, app developers, and engineering teams within Google to create the most secure experiences for our users. For many of them, their cell phone is the only connection they have to the internet, and I feel such a sense of fulfillment knowing that my work can have a major impact on people all over the world who rely so heavily on their devices. To be successful at cybersecurity, sometimes you need to put yourself in the mindset of an attacker and always be one step ahead. So, are you ready
I guess it's a good thing I was a criminal for 16 years.
to do good by thinking bad? Let's jump right in. In this module, you're going to be learning all about security, how people attack it, and how to defend against these attacks. By the end of the module, you'll be
I'm
able
gonna write that down. Sometimes to do good, you have to be bad. Where right? Yeah,
devices.
I'm writing that down, dude. For once, my life experience has been to a positive outcome. To be successful at cybersecurity, SYBR, cyber security. Sometimes you need to put yourself, sometimes you need to put yourself in the mindset of an attacker, in the mindset of an attacker, and always be one step ahead.
To be successful at cybersecurity, sometimes you need to put yourself in the mindset of an attacker and always be one step ahead. So, are you ready to do good by thinking bad? Let's jump right in. In this module, you're going to be learning all about security, how people attack it.
I'm gonna write that down. Kind of like a course wrap up at the very beginning. Very important. You're going to be learning all about security. You're going to be learning all about security. How people attack it. How POPLE. And how to defend against these attacks. And how to defend against By the end of this module, you'll be able to define and recognize these security risks. Okay.
And how to defend against these attacks. By the end,
be able to define and recognize, you'll be. What are you messing with me for? Able to define my page is bouncing back at me and it's screwing up my writing. I'm having to lift my hand. Oops. Security risks. How do I fix this? Like that? That feels flatter. Understand how security revolves. You'll understand how security revolves around the CIA principle. Security principle and what the CI principle is. And what the CIA principle is.
End of the module, you'll be able to define and recognize security risks, vulnerabilities, and threats. You'll also be able to identify the most common security attacks. And finally, you'll understand how security revolves around the CIA principle and what the CIA principle is. When you think of security,
Guys, I've got to pee right now. I'm going to go ahead and drink my 4 o'clock water drink and I'm gonna go pee, and I'll be right back. Think of security, what's the first thing you think of? It's probably physical security, stuff like making sure your belongings are safe from potential thieves, locking your front door at night, and putting your valuables in a safe place. But in today's digital world, your money isn't just in your wallet, your cash is also stored inside it. Some of us don't carry credit cards at all, and those who don't just have them in their wallets. To do don't just have them in their wallets. They're stored on their favorite websites so they can make purchases more easily. It's not just money we care about. Most of our entire personal world revolves around mobile photos, applications, devices in our pocket. Unfortunately,
Security, what's the first thing you think of? It's probably physical security. Stuff like making sure your belongings are safe from potential thieves, locking your front doors at night, and putting your valuables in a safe place. But in today's digital world, your money isn't just in your wallet. Your cash is also stored inside online bank accounts, accessible with the right password. Some of us don't carry credit cards at all, and those who do don't just have them in their wallets. They're stored on their favorite websites so that they can make purchases more easily. It's not just money we care about. Most of our entire personal world lives on mobile phones. Our text messages, photos, personal data, application logins, and more are all kept right inside the devices we have in our pockets. Unfortunately, we live in a world where there are people and organizations that try to steal data from companies.
I feel like that's probably going to be important.
It's not
Money we care about. Most of our entire personal world lives. Most of our entire personal world lives on mobile phones.
just money we care about. Most of our entire personal world lives on mobile phones. Our text
Photos, personal data, application logins, and more.
all kept right inside the devices. All kept right inside the devices we have in our pockets. The devices we have in our pockets.
Messages, photos, personal data, application logins, and more are all kept right inside the devices we have in our pockets. Unfortunately, we live in a world where there are people and organizations that try to steal data from companies, from governments, and even from people like you and me. Don't let movies warp your perception of these digital thieves. They aren't as glamorous or professional as you may think. Digital thieves don't have a team of hackers in dark hoodies furiously typing into computer terminals all day, hoping to break into multi-billion-dollar companies. That's not to say that it doesn't happen, because we all know it does, but most of the time, the average internet attacker is someone who looks just like you or me, a regular person who happened to stumble upon a hole in your security system and then took advantage of it. It could have been something as simple as figuring out that you use your dog's name as your pet.
I don't think I should write that down. I know attackers can look the same. Dude.
Password. When the only thing securing your bank account is the word FIDO, you're in trouble. But just like we have physical security alarms to deter potential burglars, we also have many methods to prevent our digital security from being compromised. By the end of this course, you'll gain a deeper understanding of computer security. You'll learn how to prevent the most commonly used computer attacks. You'll understand the various security protocols and mechanisms that we use on our machines, in the web, and on our networks. You'll also learn more about cryptography, authentication, and access mechanisms, which are important skills for any IT support specialist. We'll wrap up the course by giving you the necessary tools to assess the security of an organization and decide on the best security. By the end,
Of computer security. You'll learn how to prevent I wanted to screw with it today, so I'm gonna screw with it today. You'll learn how to prevent the most commonly used computer attacks. The most commonly You'll understand the various security protocols and mechanisms. You'll understand the various security protocols. Protocol. The various security protocol and isms. Oh, that's an M. Mechanisms that we use on our machines. That we use on our machines. In the web and on our network. In the web and on our network. You'll also learn more. Okay, let's get this down.
End of this course, you'll gain a deeper understanding of computer security. You'll learn how to prevent the most commonly used computer attacks. You'll understand the various security protocols and mechanisms that we use on our machines, in the web, and on our networks. You'll also learn more about cryptography, authentication.
Shoot, that's a hell of a word. Hold up, go back.
That we use on our machines, in the web, and on our networks. You'll also learn more about cryptography, authentication.
Authentication is another word. And access mechanisms. Access mechanisms. Okay. Which are important skills for many. Which are important skills for many. For any IT support specialist. IT support specialist.
And access mechanisms, which are important skills for any IT support specialist. We'll wrap up the course.
By giving you the necessary. By giving you giving you the necessary tools. The necessary tools. Wait, where'd it go? What the heck just happened? Dude, why does it keep doing stuff like that? To access the security of an organization. And decide on the best security preventative measures. And decide on the best security measures. Oh, security preventative measures. What's a botnet?
What? He didn't even do anything, dude. He just connected it to the internet. You're fine. I won't be doing this for very long, anyways.
By giving you the necessary tools to assess the security of an organization and decide on the best security preventative measures. Today, just about every business or industry relies heavily on technology to conduct day-to-day business. Can you imagine a company, large or small, operating without email, without functional computers or internet access? Take the case of a small company. It needs some technology if it wants to be able to access credit cards. Recent attacks like the WannaCry CryptoWorm and large-scale attacks using the Mirai botnet highlight the scope and scale of how security affects us all. It's something we need to take seriously. Because of our widespread dependence on technology, digital security is more important than ever before, and it's going to continue to have a growing impact on all industries and aspects of our lives. So let's make sure you're armed with the right tools to keep yourself and your future clients safe.
What's Summer Game Fest? Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you, buddy. No, okay.
Collar. How do you spell collar? Collar. Collar. Thank you, buddy. Stiggy made it! Oh. I almost never do that. I'm lucky my phone does it for me. My phone is the only reason why I know the difference between the yours. Y-O-U-R, Y-O-U-R-E, all those different ones. You got R-E, Y-O-U-R, Y-O-U-R-E. The R-E, apostrophe R-E means you are. I just noticed Stiggy's face. What is that? The squirrel from Ice Age? It looks like the squirrel from Ice Age. Stiggy, you missed it yesterday, man. I finished up Module 5, and I started and finished 6. Luckily, it was just essentially a graded test and a little bit of writing. And we're on course 5 today. This is the last course before I can start looking for an IT job. The CIA triad. Yep, Jack is still here. How you doing today, Stiggy? Is it still daylight where you're at? I think it's around like 10 or 11 there. I think his country is the Netherlands. I keep forgetting his country, man. It makes me look like a bad person. My memory's just trash. I think it's what gacha game you playing? There will be one key.
Throughout this course, there will be one key acronym to keep in mind, the CIA.
Yeah, listen to Jack. Summoner's War will eat away at your mental health.
No, I'm not talking about the
I've never heard of Wuthering Waves. No, I have. You've told me that one before.
U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, although they do have a lot to do with national security. When I say CIA, I'm talking about confidentiality, integrity,
Confidentiality. Integrity. Availability. These three key principles are the foundation of what's widely referred to as the CIA Trinidad. Man, quit doing that.
and availability. These three key principles are the foundation for what's widely referred to as the CIA.
Foundation for what's widely referred to as the CIA triad. Oh, what's going on? Combat is super satisfying, rewarding skill. I'll let you guys do that. You guys talk that stuff.
Triad. guiding model for designing information security policies. These 3 principles will help you develop security policies in the workplace and for your own personal
Uh,
environments. Let's start with confidentiality. Confidentiality means keeping
Keeping things hidden. Keeping the data that you have. Hidden safely from unwanted eyes. Hidden safely from unwanted eyes.
things hidden. And IT, it means keeping the data that you have hidden safely from unwanted eyes. One particular method of confidentiality that you probably use every day is password protection. Only you Maybe your partner should know the password to gain access to your bank account online. For confidentiality to work, you need to
You need to limit access to your data. You need to limit access to your data to only those who absolutely need to know. To only those who absolutely need to know how to gain access should.
limit access to your data. Only those who absolutely need to know how to gain access should.
How to gain access should. Should.
The I in CIA stands for integrity. Integrity
Are data accurate and untampered with? Keeping our data it's two C's. Accurate and untampered with, and untampered with. Why is my face so dang itchy? I'm gonna get up and turn on my fan. I'm down a viewer. Oh no. I'm just gonna have to leave my computer room door open. It's getting hot in here and I'm getting itchy. I don't like being itchy. Yay, Jack survived his poop. Do you feel better, brother? I know I feel better after a good dookie. The data that we send or receive. The data that we send or should remain the same throughout its entire journey. The same throughout its entire, I don't know how to spell journey, Journey. The data that we send or receive should remain the same throughout entire journey. Oh, I did all those lines good, but the last one. Turn into a war of adoration. I can't pronounce words, Jack. I'm kind of dumb. Blame Tennessee.
Means keeping our data accurate and untampered with. The data that we send or receive should remain the same throughout its entire journey. Imagine if you downloaded a file off the internet, and the website you're downloading it from says the file is 3 megs. Then, when you download it, it turns out to be about 30 megs. That's a red flag. Something happened during the download, something potentially unsafe. An unwanted file may now be living on your hard drive. Last but not least, let's look at the A in CIA, which stands for availability.
Stop doing that. I think I'm gonna have to restart all my computers in the house, man. They're all acting squirrely. Today, the gym computer wouldn't tell me that I had people watching my stream, though Hex talked to me throughout the entirety of it, and I had Kenshi show up. We have is readily accessible. We have is readily accessible to those people that should have it, to those people that should have it. Dude, you did it again?
Availability means that the
Something's going on with my mouse and keyboard and stuff, dude. It keeps fritzing out. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to blow your eardrums out. Sometimes I don't really think that much. Let's see if that fixed the double click issue. It keeps double clicking and doing all kinds of nonsense when I try to tell it to single click.
Data accurate.
So we're not at integrity. We're at availability.
For availability. Availability means that the information we have is readily accessible to those people that should have it. This could mean many.
I'm sure it would solve my problems, but it wouldn't solve my financial problems. That 5090 would set me back my house. I actually don't know how expensive they are, but I didn't even know the 5th generation low cost of an arm and a leg. Let's bargain. How about a toe? We can do a toe. What if I want to use my arms and legs though, bro? Heater during the winter. Like being prepared if your data is lost. If your data is lost, or if your system is down, or if your system is down skis. This could be many things, like being prepared if your data is lost, or if your system is down. I've actually been highly, the more you buy, the more you save, NVIDIA CEO. I believe that. I believe that. Security attacks are designed to steal all kinds of things from your time, material things, your dignity. Some steal the time that you'll need to spend to get services back up and running. Some security attacks will hold your system hostage until you pay a ransom for it. Sounds scary, isn't it? But this is what you're here to learn, how to stop these types of attacks from happening. Going through this course, you'll see how every aspect of security revolves around these 3 key principles: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. A mech game. I like mechs. Alright, I think I'm done with the end of this one.
Things like being prepared.
Mecha break. Oh. Ew.
This AI tool will take your idea and create a complete book, complete with design, images.
What's up, everyone? I've got something exciting to share with you today. Recently, I was invited to participate in the closed beta for Mecha Break, an up-and-coming mecha game, which I'm sure a lot of you will be interested in.
Give me 1 second,
Now, I was
Sticky.
able to capture a lot of good gameplay and had a lot of fun doing it, so I thought I'd show off some of it to you guys in the coming weeks. And starting off here, we're going to be playing Elisnes. This is kind of the beginner striker the game starts you off with. It runs you through a lot of tutorials with it, but just because it's a beginner does not mean it's necessarily easy or bad. and there's definitely a lot of complexity to the striker. So this is this match in particular here is after I've had more than a few games under my belt, even with this particular striker. So I know a little bit more what I'm doing coming to this one on the final day of the beta. But we're going to be playing on Crowd Sinkhole. This map features the Domination game type, which is pretty similar to similar game types in other FPS games that you're probably aware of. But kind of unique to this one is that
So it gives you the distance away. Got a mini map in the corner. You got some locks up top. I'm not sure what that's about. Looks like you got a shield, a cannon, a nade, mounted turret, something else.
it starts off with only the middle point activating. And you see that isn't quite activated yet, but we're going to have to fight over it. And then the side points will activate a little bit later.
Oh, that's what those
kind of
locked
means that
ones
everyone's
are.
going to go mainly towards the center at the start here. We're already seeing some action. An enemy Skyraider flying through the sky here over on the right side. Takes a couple sniper shots from one of my teammates. I'm able to finish him off with my energy autocannon, doing a little bit of damage there. Most of the work from my sniper. Now we're going to get in the middle here and go for some more damage. And I spot this enemy Hurricane up a little close. Decide to go for some of my melee hits. And something unique to all melee weapons is that they pierce through shields and hit health directly. So you're going to notice that everyone has health bars. They have the white health and the green or red health if they're an enemy. And the white health is fluid shields, and that will recharge gradually over time if you're not taking damage. But the green health will only recharge if you have a healer on your team, and that's pretty limited. In this beta, we had Lumine, which is kind of the support striker, and then also Tricera, which is more of a tank turret type, but it does have some healing for allies nearby around it. So you may notice right there, it looks like I died not once, but kind of twice, and that's because Leesness has a special ability where once you die your first time, your armor purges, and you become kind of a weaker version of yourself, lacking most of your abilities, just kind of a weak machine gun type weapon, and then a weaker melee. But the first time you enter that mode, you can choose to activate an airdrop and call back in your full armor a single time for life. And that gives you access to all your abilities again. So usually I try and get a little bit of value out of the weaker version before I call in my armor drop again. It looks like right here I'm about to lose my full armor and have to purge again. I'm getting kind of pursued by the enemy Leesness, and there goes. So this is my last life this time. Just going to be the small form. I cannot call in another armor drop until I die, and it looks like the enemies are still coming in pretty close. But I'm going to try and get what value I can out of this little life. Like I said, damage is a lot lower when you're in this form, but melees do still pierce those shields, and the enemy team does not have a healer, so even that little bit of melee damage I got before I died couldn't end up mattering in the long run. And something this game has, which is kind of nice, is you get this long kill cam showing how the enemy killed you if you want to watch it, and the damage numbers on the left side there will count up, so you can kind of get a good idea of exactly where everything came from and ends up taking you out. But if you don't feel like watching it, you can also stop the replay of it and just spectate your teammates before you respawn. Now I'm coming back in, and looks like we were able to retake one of the points. The enemy had two for a bit there, but we're back to it. And now it looks like they captured the middle point, so got to make a decision here. I'm thinking about going up the middle. I do have my teammate, the Narukami there. They're a stealth sniper that might be able to cover me a bit, but I decided it's probably easier to go to C point over here since I already have a teammate there, and see if we can recapture that. And Elises doesn't have great range fighting. Even the autocannon is kind of weak at range, so most of your stuff is going to have to get in close. So I get here, there's a duel going on between the enemy Panther and my friendly Panther, and those are a melee. Those strikers only have melee weapons. So they have shields and melee weapons and basically nothing else, so they are melee specialists. But I'm going to see if I can get in the melee action a bit here. But I spot the enemy Skyraider coming in. You can see 4 melee attacks cleave right through that HP bar. Shields are not going to help at all. And that's especially satisfying because a Skyraider and Falcon are the two airborne specialty strikers, and they are incredibly hard to lock down, especially with shorter range strikers like Leesness. So being able to jump up and land those melees when he got in a little too close was pretty satisfying. But the downside of melee weapon attacks is that they do use up some of your energy bar, and I was not managing my energy too well there. Fell down in the bottom of this pit and I have to wait to get out. But enemy Hurricane drops down on me. Got my Lumine teammate with me, and together we are able to finish him off, even though my energy is still pretty low. But unfortunately, because he came in as a distraction, I did miss the lift to go back up, and I'm still sitting here waiting for my energy to recharge. And that's something that's kind of a bit of an Elisna's exclusive issue. Not to say other melee strikers don't run into problems with running out of energy, but at least Panther has a ability that allows them to fully regen their energy, so as long as that's off cooldown, they can do that, while Elisna's kind of has to wait a while, but I guess that's possibly an intended downside for also having range options and multiple lives, with being able to call back in your armor.
Jesus at your password, Stiggy. What? You're welcome, baby girl.
Armor drop. I see over here enemy Narukami, not stealth at the moment, just hanging on that wall, but they end up stealthing to try and run away. Trying to get a few shots on just to prevent them from cloaking again, but other enemies have taken notice. Oh, I'm getting a little stuck here. I've had to drop down, and enemy Panther's up on me. Gonna see if we have a melee duel. So something interesting with shield abilities, the blue shields, those are called complex shields compared to the white fluid shields, is that as soon as you use a shielding ability like that, there's a window that's, I think, around 2 seconds where you will parry melee attacks. So both me and Panther having shields like that, we could have done some parrying there if we're not careful. So that's something you have to watch for when you're fighting up close with your melee attacks. But Falcon has no shields like that, so just going to jump up, see what damage I can get, and then turn around as they fly away, see who else I can find floating around. And there's Hurricane over there. Hurricane does not have any melee options, does have a shield he can put up. You can see that shield directly in front of him, but he can't hold it up for very long. It's actually, the ability there is he puts up a shield and drops one of those decoys you can see floating around, those decoy shields that kind of take your lock on and force you to attack him. So he can parry if he's good with it, but he can't hold the shield for long. So if you just see him drop it, and if he doesn't have another charge available, you can go in for melees for free. And right now, I think he's probably out of them, since he's been dropping those decoys like crazy, using his splitter beams here to try and deal some damage. And that's going to hurt when I get in close on him, but I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can. Still got a little bit of life left on this. He hits me with 2 shots, get pretty low, and decide to call back in my armor, and this will be the last time for this life. I was hoping to go and finish off that Hurricane now that I've got my full abilities available to me, but he looks like he slipped away. So I'm going to come back over here in the middle and try and fight the Panther. Get a melee in the back, but there you see, that was the parry. He pulled out his shield and blocked my second melee attack. I put in my shield here hoping to parry, but he actually whiffed the melee, and then he parried my follow-up melee because he got his shield out again in time. But teammate was able to finish him off. See Skyraider again flying around. Just throw some shots his way, but like you can see, I'm not doing much from range, so once he got away. But there's the Hurricane, he's back. He's got full fluid shields, but melee doesn't care about that. He had his shield up, but it went down by the time I got him with the melee, and then it just cleaves right through his HP bar again and finishes him off. I haven't really talked about the last ability that Elisna's has. It's got the Gauss cannons, which is the 2 ability there, where you see the 3 charges above it, and that one's pretty good. It actually does stagger enemies on hit, so you can kind of stun them and maybe follow up with a melee, or stagger them if they're attacking with your teammates, give them some a chance to get away. But if it misses, it does take a little bit to fire, so that's why I'm probably a little bit hesitant to use it, but that's something I could definitely improve with my Elisna's play. Right here we see theirs floating in the sky. He's got his shield up, but poking away at it. He's getting pretty low. I'm thinking here maybe I can chase him and get some melees, but I may have overextended. Sniper's on me, Skyraider's shooting me as well. And now we're back to small form once again, and this is all I've got. No more armor call-ins. Let's see what I can do. Try and sneak up on this Hurricane again, get some hits on him. He turns around, gets that parry, drops that shield as well. I'm just firing away, and that is going to be the end of my life. But the score is getting close to the end here. I think as long as we're holding 1 point, we'll be okay. But they've got 2 captured, and they might try and get this last one. I decided to switch over to Spectate, just see what's going on, and it looks like they actually did get the middle.
Gundam 00.
Narukami stealth over, capped the last point over there, and that was able to get us the win.
No way.
So we pretty much more than doubled their score at the end there, but I think combat-wise, it was pretty even, but we were just doing a little bit better job of playing the objective. And at the end of the match here, it actually does show kind of a highlights reel of all your kills and stuff like that, if you feel like watching that. But we're going to see the MVP here was my teammate, the Skyraider, and that's not an uncommon sight in this beta. I think if you asked around, most people would agree that Skyraider is probably the best striker in the game, at least in this beta, so I'll have to see.
That's the only Gundam 00 that I recognize. That one kind of sounds familiar, and so does this one.
how that changes for the full release. But I was still able to come second place on my team, so I'm pretty happy with that performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is some Mecha Break gameplay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it. I've got a lot more saved up that I'll be showing off some of it, so
Heck yeah, Jack. That's on Steam? Let's go to the store. Search. Mecha Break. It's not here yet. It's gonna be Steam. There it is. Did I spell it wrong? Nah, I'm okay. That was cool. Thanks, Jack.
Paired if your data is lost or if your system is down. Security attacks are designed to steal all kinds of things from you. Time, material things, your dignity. Some steal the time that you'll need to spend to get services back up and running. Some security attacks will hold your system hostage until you pay a ransom for it. Sounds scary, and it is, but that's why you're here, to learn how to stop these types of attacks from happening. Going through this course, you'll see how every aspect of security revolves around these three key principles: confidentiality, integrity, and availability.
I gotta pee again, guys. It's already been another hour. No, it ain't. It's only been like 15 minutes. My bladder can wait, bro. What just happened?
Throughout this course,
Before we dive into things like bringing down the digital thieves, let's get some of the terminology either way. We'll be using these terms throughout the entire course, so you should know them inside and out before we get started. The first one is risk.
before we dive into things like bringing down digital thieves, let's get some of the terminology out of the way. We'll be using these terms throughout the entire course, so you should know them inside and out before we get started. The first one is risk.
The
Risk, the possibility of suffering a loss in the event of an attack on the system. Let's say that you buy a new phone. One security measure you can take to protect your device is to set up a screen lock using a password or pattern that you add to prevent others from accessing your info. A screen lock is a security feature that helps prevent unwanted access by creating an action you have to do to gain entry. If you choose not to add a screen lock to your phone, the risk that you take is that someone could easily gain access to your phone and steal your data. Even adding something as simple as a passcode or a screen lock can help you protect your personal or company data from getting into the wrong hands. Next up is the term vulnerability.
Just terms. I'm okay with that. Essential security terms. Vulnerability. A flaw in a system that could. Flaw in a system that could be exploited to compromise.
Vulnerability
Can be holes that you may or may not be aware of. Can be holes that you may or may not be aware of.
can be holes that you may or may not be aware of. Maybe you go away for a long vacation and lock every door and window in your house before you leave, but you forget to lock the bathroom window. That bathroom window is now a vulnerability that burglars can use to break into your house. Another example.
I'm gonna write that down. That seems important. Another example is when you're writing. Is when you're writing a web app. Web app. Writing web app and enable and
is when you're writing a web app and enable a debug account for testing during development, but forget to disable it before launching the app. You now have a vulnerability in your app that an attacker can potentially discover. There's a special type of vulnerability called a zero.
Stop it. That is not known to the crap, dude.
There's a special type of vulnerability called a zero-day vulnerability, or zero-day for short. which is a vulnerability that is not known to the software developer or vendor, but is known to an attacker. The name refers
To react to and to fix. To react to and to fix the vulnerability. 0 days. The vulnerability. Zero days. 0 days. Man.
to the amount of time the software vendor has had to react to and to fix the vulnerability, 0 days. Another key term is exploit.
That is used to take. That is used to take advantage of a security bug or vulnerability. Of a security bug or vulnerability.
Software that is used to take advantage of a security bug or vulnerability. Attackers will write up exploits for
They find in software. They find in software to cause harm to the system. To cause harm to the system.
For vulnerabilities they find in software to cause harm to the system. Let's say an attacker discovers a zero-day vulnerability, decides to take advantage of the previously unknown bug, and writes a zero-day exploit code. That code will specifically target and take advantage of this unknown bug to gain access and cause damage to systems. Not cool. The next term to know is threat. The possibility
Of danger that could exploit. Of danger that could exploit a vulnerability. A vulnerability. Threats are just possible attackers, sort of like burglars. Threats are just possible attackers. Sort of like burglars. Sort of like burglars. Sort of like burglars. Not all burglars will attempt.
of danger that could exploit a vulnerability. Threats are just possible attackers, sort of like burglars. Not all burglars will attempt to break into your home to steal your most prized possession.
Retry a newly discovered vulnerability. It just hasn't. What the? This one?
Possessions.
Dude, I just wrote it down. A vulnerability is something that, or a 0-day vulnerability is something you have 0 time to get over. Hacker.
But they could, and so they're considered threats. Next up,
Is someone who attempts to break into. Who attempts. Oh, it's already 5 o'clock. It's time for me to drink. Right? Yeah, I got one more. Is that not what I just said? 0-day gets its name because you have 0 days. The name refers to the amount of time the software vendor has to react to the fix to the vulnerability. 0 days. Special type of vulnerability, or which is a vulnerability that is not known to the software developer or vendor, but is known to the attacker. They don't know about it, and they have 0 days to get it. At least that's what I understood from that. Oh, I did that wrong.
hacker. A hacker in the security world is someone who attempts to break into or exploit a system. Most of us associate hackers with malicious figures, but there are actually
Two common types of hackers. One, black hat.
two common types of hackers. You have
To get into systems to do something malicious, to try to get into systems to do something malicious. White hat. attempt to find weaknesses in the system. But also alert the owners. Of those systems. So they can fix it before. So they can fix it before someone else does something malicious. Someone else does something malicious. While there are other types of hackers, these are the two main ones. The most important for us right now, the last term to know, is attack.
Black hat hackers who try to get into systems to do something malicious. There are also white hat hackers who attempt to find weaknesses in a system, but also alert the owners of those systems so that they can fix it before someone else does something malicious. While there are other types of hackers, these are the two main ones and the most important for us to understand right now. The last term to know is attack.
An actual attempt at causing harm to a system. The sad reality is that will always be a tax on your system. A tax. Good night, Stiggy. Okay, that's it.
Which is an actual attempt at causing harm to a system. It's super important to be aware of possible threats and vulnerabilities to your system so that you can better prepare for them. The sad reality is that there will always be attacks on your system, but before you start searching for an underground bunker to spend the rest of your days in, remember that there are ways that you can detect and mitigate attacks, and we're here to help you learn how to do just that. In this module, we'll be talking about some of the common attacks you'll encounter at home and in the workplace. Throughout the course, you'll learn how to harden your systems against these attacks. Turns out there are hundreds of ways that your system can be attacked, but there are also hundreds of ways that you can prevent them. We won't talk about all of them, but we will cover the major ones. So abandon the bunker idea and prepare to dive in, because things are about to get real secure.
All All right, guys, that's it for my stream today, at least for this nonsense. I'm not going to start the nonsense. This isn't nonsense, but you know what I meant. I'm not gonna start the next video. It's 4 minutes long. There's no way I can get it done in 30. Thank you, Jack. Looks like I knocked out one video that I didn't really have to write a whole lot on. Bunch of nonsense, and then 2 videos I did have to write, all in 2.5 hours. That's not bad. I'll pick up tomorrow. I'm supposed to have this done today. I probably could if I were to go all the way till 8. Nah, I'm alright. It is. It is. Did I say I was going to do something tomorrow? Just a yard sale. But regardless, before I get off topic, yeah, weekend mode activated for sure. I'm going to step to the side, eat me some food, do some dishes, do the typical stuff I normally do. Then I'm gonna be back on for some Monster Hunter streams. I think I really want to get better at playing that game. It looks like it could be fun and interesting. Oh, I said I was going to pick it back up tomorrow. Typical ramblings. We'll get back at this tomorrow. I will not be doing that. The big Monster Hunter Z. But yeah, I'll be playing some games here in just a few minutes. I'll be streaming them too. If anybody here wants to check that out, I'll be back on in just a little bit. Give me time to eat, unwind just a little bit, and I'll get back on and play some games. Alright, have a great day.